Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me, as always, over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He is known out there on the World Wide Web as the greatest producer east of the Mississippi, south of the Mason-Dixon line. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to Mr. Truth Box. Truth, what's up, brother man? How was vacation?
Dude, I'm feeling good. Rehabilitated, rejuvenated, reassimilated. You ever seen this?
Love it.
Carlito's Way, 1993.
I do know the film when he comes out.
No,
and
when
rejoins?
he's trying to tell the court, I am rehabilitated.
All over the top, Pacino style.
I know, reinvigorated or something. Yeah, but dude, Pacino's whack, right?
A little bit, but he's like I
Nowadays.
like him, but like he goes over the top in everything he does. You know?
No, I know, but he sucks as a guy, I'm saying.
Does he? Or are you thinking of De Niro?
Oh yeah. Dude, it's
John
like a
Kerry,
Romney Kerry situation.
I mean, Pacino could be too, for all we know.
I know, but he might be money. I'm like, I don't see him doing this.
I don't know.
When
like
I was
a
flamethrower
to the place.
Yeah, and he's also Scarface, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think we like
could
him,
be the
right?
Good one.
Yeah. No, De Niro is horrible.
De Niro,
right?
Trash.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's brutal. So are the
Probably.
rumors true though? Did you go on vacation, take your family away so you guys could get closer to the eclipse? Was that what it was all about? You needed to get into that?
Went further from the eclipse. It's fake news. Dude. I don't even know that happened. Did that really happen?
What eclipse?
Yeah.
That thing was a whole nothing burger anyways. Please.
You want to start over? Want to start this over?
Why? Because we have nothing to say? We're talking De Niro, Pacino, eclipses. We don't know where we're going with it.
Showtime, baby.
Well, it kind of is because I don't really have anything set up for a monologue. We got things to get to. So why not welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair? Because guess what, Juice? It is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo!
Woo! Oh, good stuff. Okay. So off the bat here, I want to talk about something going on in Scotland. I think that's where Juice's relatives hail from way back when, before he became a full-on American. But they put into effect starting April 1st, this new hate speech law. And the reason I want to talk about it on our show is because even though this is happening in Scotland, it's the same mindset, the same type of people, the same global elite leftist mindset that is trying to control this country as well. So just because it's happening in another country and not specifically here doesn't mean that this same thing isn't trying to make its way here. It's the reason why we care about Turd Boy in Canada and what happens there at times too. So what happened with this law? According to the Guardian, the article that I was reading about it, is from the Guardian, and in the article it says, according to the Scottish government, quote, it is intended to consolidate existing hate crime laws, but also creates a new offense of threatening or abusive behavior, which is intended to stir up hatred on the grounds of age, disability, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity, and variations of sex characteristics. These additional provisions add to long-standing offenses relating to stirring up racial hatred, which have been in place across the UK since 1986. End quote. Juice, what are your thoughts so far? Did I successfully kind of prep us to where we're at so far on this story?
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't jump the shark. Not jump the shark, but what's the
Sharks
word?
jumped all over the
No,
place.
no, I don't even.
No,
That's not
I know what you're
the
trying to
phrase.
say.
Don't be the spoiler. Jump the
Well,
shark
you
is
know,
when like something.
you know me with phrases and sayings.
Oh
I
yeah,
never
yeah.
get them right. I'm like the lady
Jump.
from Modern Family.
Jump the shark comes from when Fonzie jumps over the shark in the Happy Days.
I
Like
feel
when
like
it's
I've
like
heard the term.
when
I didn't know that's where
when like a
shit hits the
show
fan.
when a show gets so stupid, like, oh, that was good until it jumped the shark. Because it was like, remember Happy Days?
Oh,
And Fonzie's
because
in a leather
Fonzie's
jacket on
jumping
a
over a
Hawaii
shark.
on a leather jet with a leather jacket on a
Are you
beach trip.
serious?
That's where the phrase comes from.
No way.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
put it in the comment. Put it in the comment.
Learn something new every day. That's funny.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
now makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, now Ralphie and
Now
Fonzie,
this,
like, we
I'm
can't
out.
talk. Yeah.
They're
Jump
jumping
the
sharks
shark.
now. I'm out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Okay.
Put it in the
All right.
comments.
Dude, you're good.
But yeah, all
All
right, we're good. You want to
right.
see this clip or something?
No, not yet. Hold on.
All
So
right, I'll go.
the thing that stood out at the end of the little quote that I read from the article there is the very last piece of it where it says these offenses are relating to long-standing racial hatred type of laws that have been on the books. So it's like the left's playbook. They want to make everything into like racial grievance, victimhood mindset on things. So in my mind, there have been, plenty of legitimate gripes throughout the years in civilization, in America specifically, say. And two that stand out the most, to me at least, are racism. Obviously, the history of slavery in the country, throughout the world, actually, in this country, and then like Jim Crow era racism that turned into civil rights movement and the women's right to vote movement, like, going from literally being a second class citizen who did not have voting powers into gaining and championing successfully the right to vote, was legitimate and an empowering thing, but led to what has turned into, feminism and a lot of the things that I
Oh,
think
now
led to
everybody gets to
downfall.
vote.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
get it. I'm kidding.
yeah. No, I know what you mean. So, like, two things that kind of came from a right mindset, like, and then because those were successful and they were fought successfully, any other thing that's come along, they try to piggyback on that success and tie it into that. And that's what this thing reeks of to me. So when it comes to,
Sorry,
say,
what was the thing you said at the end? It was like I know you said transgender thing, and it was like, or any gender thing that you happen to. There was something at
sex
the end of the law.
variations of sex
Yeah.
characteristics. Like, what does that mean?
Like they just said the gay stuff and the
Yeah,
like
exactly.
whatever. Like, well, and then
It
like
is
this
what it
other
is.
thing, they
But yeah,
built
what's
in
that?
like this gray area, sex characteristics or something.
Yeah,
That's like I think they're building in
I
like
have no idea.
furries and stuff. You know that?
Are you I think my kids are playing music in my ears over here. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm going on a good rant here. I don't know what you're doing.
No, I love your rant.
You know what I'm saying? Like furries, they're building in furries and
Oh, don't start that stuff again.
no, I'm saying in any other sex characteristic that you might think or have or might want at some point.
Hold on, talk for a sec, Juice.
All right, we're gonna take some questions from the audience here. No, but I mean, want me to play the clip? Like basically,
No, not yet.
Not
yet. Oh, here we go. I'm good. Sorry.
All
Sorry,
right.
folks. Sorry, audience.
Folks.
No. So the whole the whole point, though, that I'm trying to make before we get to the clip here is they're taking like something like the women's right movement, and that's why they have to frame abortion into a women's rights issue. They try and pigeonhole it into like something like that, and it's insane. It's not a women's right, but they were successful in championing the right for women to vote. So hence now the destruction of a human being that lives inside a woman has somehow become a women's right issue. Same thing when it comes to like civil rights. If somebody's black, if someone's any race out there, they don't have any control over that. They don't choose that. They have nothing they can do about that. They just are that race, that they were born that way. So it's crazy to equate some of these other things like that you do have a choice over, that you do have control on if anybody knows that about you or not. They try to make that the same thing as race, which you have no control over. Nobody should be able to or would be able to tell if I was gay unless you were in my bedroom with me and witness that. Now, if you walk around and you present yourself in a certain way, a certain, demeanor, way that you carry yourself, way that you dress, way you present yourself, now you're opening that up for others to see that about you. Nobody has to see that. Nobody has to know that. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's not the same thing, but that's the way they want to argue it. So we have this clip that Juice was talking about there. And this is from the first minister of Scotland. That's their version of a president. And this man, Hamza Yusuf, I probably butchered that, but he, back in February of 2023, went on this rant before he was the first minister. And he was complaining along the lines of racial grievances about the lack of diversity within the hierarchy of the Scottish government. So
in the Scotland, which is like 92% white, and he's yelling about it. Is that what we're gonna get into?
Crazy. All right.
Play it.
I'm ready for it. You?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
99% of the meetings I go to, I'm the only non-white person in the room. But why are we so surprised when the most senior positions in Scotland are filled almost exclusively by those who are white? Take my portfolio alone. The Lord President, white. The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white. The Chief Constable, white. Every Deputy Chief Constable, white. Every Assistant Chief Constable, white. The head of the Law Society, white. The head of the Faculty of Advocates, white. Every prison governor, white. And not just justice. The Chief Medical Officer, white. The Chief Nursing Officer, white. The Chief Veterinary Officer, white. The Chief Social Work Advisor, white. Almost every trade union in this country.
All right.
What is wrong with this guy?
In Scotland, which is white.
What's the percentage?
92% or something.
92% white. So it shouldn't really be that.
Dude, how dare him doing that Scottish accent bit? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, dude.
That was good. That was good. But go to Canada. What's the percentage of whites in the government in Canada? What about China? How many Chinese people are in the government of China? Come on,
China.
dude. Yeah, exactly. But that's what wins from that mindset, from that leftist mindset. Everything is about the uncontrollables and flipping it on its script. He didn't control the fact that he's Muslim and that he looks the way he looks. He had nothing to do with that. He was just born that way. So the people who are white, they have no control over it. Like, let's stop trying to pretend like that's something that brings anything to the table, like that's anything that matters at all. The content of the character in the heart is what matters, right? I think somebody famous said that at some point.
Hopefully not De Niro. But we'll have to put this in the comments, but I think Muslim isn't like you're born Muslim. I think that's the religious aspect part.
You know okay. I mean? Yeah.
Like Arab. You could be white and not be, it's not, I mean, I don't know the answer, but I don't think like he was born Muslim.
Good,
is the right answer. I
mean,
either.
Born into a Muslim family, maybe.
Maybe we don't know his religion, to be honest.
Well, I know that he's Muslim now. I do know that from looking him up for this bit. Like, but I didn't go back and
comments or whatever. I just wanted to call that out. Yeah.
No, good call. Got to keep us protected. That's why you're the brains of the operation, man.
And after that other bit was the Scottish accent thing, so I had to.
That was good. All right. Well, we wanted to try something new. Are you ready for this, Juice? Like that guy inspired me with his little rant about all the white. This guy's white. This person's white. And it made me do a little soul searching for what's going on here in our country. And, thankfully, President Biden is maybe the most diverse president in the history of this country with his cabinet appointees and the people in his inner circle. So he really shares the wealth with who he entrusts to run this country with us. So let's pull it up and we can go through some of the important people and find out what they are. Kamala Harris, black. Pothole Pete, gay. Lloyd Austin, black. Sam Brinton, gay, bald, crossdresser, transgender. Susan Rice, black. Alejandro Mayorkas, Latino, possibly gay. Judge Jackson, black. Who's this one again? Miguel Cardona, Latino, Latinx. Judge Jackson, not a biologist. Rachel Levine, man. Karen Jean-Pierre, gay, black. All right. I think that's covered most of it there. That got most of them. So as you can tell, President Biden, very diverse with his important inner circle of people. I'm sure we could have gone on and on too. He hired a redhead as his first press secretary. We could circle back to those days. Was there someone I missed too.
There that you were thinking I had?
No. When I said who's this guy, I just started drawing a blank on his name.
What was it again?
Cardona, Miguel Cardona.
Latinx.
He's he has to do with education. But yeah, he's Latinx, Latino. I knew you wanted to hit Judge Jackson for not being a biologist too, so thanks for going back to that one. That one we'll give Juice the trademark credit for that. That was all him. Not a biologist. That stuff is legendary from her, right?
Hilarious.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. So you guys get where we're coming from on that, why that's important, and it's something to watch out for making its way into this country here. So why don't we, shift gears from that one and slide over to the biggest story within the last week or two in the sports world. And this is kind of gonna lead us through most of the rest of the show here because we just wrapped up March Madness and the female March Madness tournament, which has been trying to be pushed on us for a long time now, actually got some eyeballs on it for once and became a story. So we're going to touch on a couple of things from that. Now, like I said, I feel like my whole
Hold
life.
on a second. They can
What?
vote and play basketball.
Yes.
That's what it
Yep.
seems like we're doing, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, look what happened. Give them that pesky right to vote, and all of a sudden they're jacking threes from half court like Caitlin Clark, right?
Like beating Pistol Pete records all of
Yeah,
a sudden.
exactly. Like, oh man, look what happens.
Shout out to that, though. That was impressive, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that girl's a beast.
Christy Clarks.
Caitlin,
Uh,
Christy, Caitlin, same thing.
mm-hmm.
Clark.
Pacinos.
But no, it's one of those things that I can remember watching Sports Center as a little kid and getting annoyed that they'd be like showing some of the ladies highlights when I just wanted to see like the men's stuff. And it was like, all right, stop trying to make fetch happen. And it was way before that Mean Girls movie. So that reference wasn't around yet, but had it been around, that's what I would have been thinking. And they're just forcing it on us. Like is what it felt like. So after years and years and years of it, they finally had a compelling story to tell. And this kind of led from last year. So as we referenced the name already, Caitlin Clark is the player from Iowa who I'm sure you've seen her popping up all over commercials lately. And she's just like a sharpshooter, broke a record for most points in a career in college this year. But her team, Iowa, they lost in the championship last year to LSU, who's led by ultra hail villain Angel Reese. And I gotta be honest with you, I haven't watched a minute of this stuff. All I know is this became a story last year because as Reese's LSU was about to win the championship, they're up, 10, 15 points in the last minute of the game. So they knew they were winning. Reese started conducting herself like the villain in the hail that she is by following around Caitlin Clark and taunting her, doing whatever, like jarring at her, running her mouth, just being a trash talker. And it's all well and good. There's plenty of trash talkers in sports history. I get that. This thing blew up because in my mind, it blew up because Angel Reese is black, Caitlin Clark's white. Everybody came down on Angel Reese for being, a sore winner and like running around, running her mouth. And the narrative became, oh, if the white girl was doing that to the black girl, nobody would have cared. But because the black girl did it, you had Stephen A. Smith coming out. In the world today, when you got people doing this, like he was all over it. So that's the only reason I know about this from last year. So all that to say, these two teams met this year in the Elite Eight, a rematch, and it drew 12.3 million viewers, which was a record for a women's college basketball game. In my mind, again, that's because you already had this built-in rivalry between these two teams, and in particular, these two players. So that's something people can get behind and get into.
Sounds like WWE's.
Yeah, absolutely. A hail and a baby face.
Choke slam or whatever.
Oh, hell yeah. You watched?
No, I
You
just
knew I was
heard of
in.
it. I heard of it. Yeah.
But I think we do have a clip of Reese from last year, right? That whole thing when she was taunting her.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pull that bad boy up?
I got it.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming. The Maryland transfer has thrived at LSU. And basically everybody who has touched the floor.
So you get the idea. You see her, she's still doing the ring thing as they're doing the free throws there too. She was rubbing it in with the win. And again, it's like.
Did they have a rivalry before that one?
That I'm not sure. I think it happened because of meeting there like that. And to be fair to Angel Reese, the villain in this story, that girl Caitlin Clark did do that not to somebody, before. Like she didn't go up to like say like Juice right in your face and go like that. She like hit a shot in a big spot or something and kind of went like that, looking at the crowd.
I'm kind of liking it.
So it is what it is. No, and I don't even have a real problem with Reese like doing it. Like I kind of think she's a little bit funny. Like again, you win, you have the right almost. Like if you don't want her to do it, beat her.
But up 10, then or whatever the other thing was, I'm not sure. We'll put that in the comments. But if you like, just go win the championship, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
if you don't want them to talk trash,
when was that clip though? When they were about to like, she's just hitting buckets. They're up 12 or whatever with seconds left in the fourth.
Yeah, they were about to win the championship.
Mm.
Yeah. So she's like rubbing it in, like obviously, and it became a thing. And like I said, they turned it into like a race story, which they do with everything. That's kind of what we touched on with the first story today. So the reason why I find this kind of important right now, though, is because the tournament drew a lot of eyeballs. Caitlin Clark in Iowa beat LSU this year, and let's hear what Angel Reese had to say after she lost. Like, so we saw her gloating and rubbing it in when she wins. And again, all well and good, but let's see how she reacts when she loses.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and like not be there for them. So I just want to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like, I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, no, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are, keep waking up every day, keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
Could there be anything more 2024 than that? Like, what was all that nonsense at the very end?
She said that, well, she said, like, somewhere in the middle that, like, winning the national championship was, like, the worst thing that's ever happened, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and the important thing right before what you said there is, since I won the national championship, not since we won the national championship, right? Since I won the national championship. Yeah, exactly. And then the very end of that, what is she signing someone's high school yearbook? Be fierce, be strong, never change, be who you are.
10 toes to the sky or something.
Like, come on. You can't be the big bad bully trash talker when you're winning. Get famous off of it, turn yourself into a brand, and then when you lose, play the victim card and everybody's mean to you. Everybody's talks trash to you on the internet. I'm sexualized. Google her name and see how many images come up of her playing basketball. And there's about 3 or 4 or 5 different ones of her in a bikini posing for pictures. I'm sexualized. You're the one doing photo shoots in a bikini because you're famous, because you're a famous basketball player and profiting off of it. And then say that people want to say stuff to you, the amount of things that are done. It's hard. Yeah, I'm sure it is. You're choosing to put yourself in the spotlight and you're benefiting from it. Same thing. Like we're gonna read you something towards the end of the show for our little circle, and we are nowhere near any fame whatsoever. And we've been getting people tearing us apart in the comments.
Oh, we're getting trashed, brother.
It's
Yeah.
insane, and we're
Dude,
nobodies. So
they're both going pro, right?
Yeah,
Next year,
yeah,
I might
yeah. She's
turn into
going.
these
She's a kid, I think.
WNBAs. I might do the WNBA, like for the storyline. Goes from
Yeah, yeah. We should.
AEW to Monday Night Raws.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of these two as like the female versions of like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and that helped college basketball in the NBA at the time because it was like two really good players who met up in the championship, formed a rivalry, both talking trash, both could back it up,
I
and
was
it carried
thinking
into the
more
NBA.
Rhodes, Reigns.
I like
Same
that
thing,
too.
right? Bird
Yeah,
Magic or whatever.
absolutely. Every story needs a villain and a heel. Like, I mean, a villain is the heel, a hero and a heel. Um, you need that. It's great. It makes for good drama and something the networks could get behind and build up. And it worked. And not only that, um, Iowa goes on to make it to the championship. They take on South Carolina, who's going for an undefeated season, and that drew, I believe, 18 million viewers, which outdrew the men's championship game the next night that had about 14 million viewers.
That was a
Wild.
foregone conclusion, though.
Well, yeah,
UConn's
the
gonna beat
UConn game,
whoever.
and
Yeah.
that game stunk too. Like it was
Like
okay
it
in
was
the
like a
first half.
15-point win, but they could have beat them by
Well,
30
and
if they wanted to.
they definitely could have. And I'll say this too, though. It definitely has a little something to do with that men's game starting tip off at 9:20 on a Monday night. Ridiculous. Terrible. And that's Eastern time zone, like, but still, this female game was played at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday. Like, that's kind of prime time for something. The men should take note and maybe see if they can move around their schedule a little bit there, because that's just crazy.
Yeah, so these Gamecocks or whatever.
Yeah. So the Gamecocks have a coach by the name of Don Staley. And I'll just come out and say it. I'll spoil it a little bit and just tell you she's a coward. Plain and simple, coward. She was asked a very important question, which she should have been well prepared to answer in today's day and age, during the press conference the day before the game, or it was maybe 2 days before. But she did not react well, and did not give a good answer. Actually, before we actually play the clip too, I think you guys have an idea where it's going, but I want you to pay attention to her body movement before she answers, as she's preparing to answer, her nervousness in just, her lack of preparation for something like this, and stumbling through trying to find out what is.
I don't know how you don't already have an answer for this.
Thank you. Exactly. Exactly.
1, 2, 3 sentences done. You've seen this. I commented on it.
Yeah. Yep.
You got people 7'5".
It's true. And honestly, you could go Bill Belichick and punt the issue if you really wanted to, and just say, hey, I'm not here to get into anything like that. I'm here to play a basketball game. If you really like
tomorrow,
exactly, I'm here to win a championship. I'm not a politician. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a biologist. I'm just a basketball coach. But you could easily, avoid it. We would probably still hammer her for it, but she could have.
Pat Summitt would have just knocked that down.
No, she would have been like, "What do you want from me? I'm in a all bright orange pantsuit here. Come on."
Yeah, power suit from Tennessee, right?
Yeah. All right. Do you want to play the clip? It's a little long, but it's because I want you to hear the end of the question, and then I want you to see the pauses in the body language. So
I have something to say too at the end of this, but
okay,
shocker. But here you go.
Coach, you just talked about what a massive weekend this is, obviously, for women's basketball, women's sports in general. One of the major issues facing women's sports right now is the debate, discussion topic about the inclusion of transgender athletes, biological males, in women's sports. I was wondering if you would tell me your position on that issue.
Damn, you got deep on me, didn't you? I'm under the opinion of if you're a woman, you should play. If you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports or vice versa, you should be able to play. That's my opinion. You want me to go deeper?
Do you think transgender women should be able to participate
That's your question
in
you
college
want
basketball?
me to ask. I mean, you want to ask, so I'll give you that. Yes. So now the barnstorm of people are going to flood my timeline and be a distraction to me on one of the biggest days of our game. And I'm okay with that.
You with me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had technical difficulties for a second. My screen went blank.
You.
All
I
good?
don't know. Not necessarily.
No,
No, you
but-
seem frozen to me.
Oh no. What'd you have to say?
I was gonna say at the end, she's like, filling up my timeline. Just shut the social medias off. If you're gonna do, we got this game tomorrow. I'm sure everybody's gonna blow up my timeline.
Yeah.
Just shut it down.
It's crazy. But that's what she's like worried about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how about the fact that she drops, if you consider yourself a female, you should play.
Yeah, and it's gonna okay, then say you just went undefeated or whatever they did, and then you put a guy on any of those other teams, like she doesn't mean what she said.
No, not at all. Not at all. You see the guy on Purdue? The guy who's like 7'4"?
Mm-hmm.
Throw him out there. See how much she'd be supporting it then.
Put a wig on him. Yeah.
Exactly. It's absurd. The problem with it is people in high important positions like that continue to punt the issue or do that, which is completely cowardly and refuse to address the problem that's going on. And it's going to continue to go in this direction until people that are in those positions say enough is enough. And don't get me wrong, like I don't want to get pulled off track too much, but
You still out there?
Yeah. Can't see me?
Can't see you. I'm just messing with you. I don't know if they can see you. Put
Oh,
it
no.
comments if you can see him.
Oh no, man.
Can you see yourself?
No, I can't see myself.
Yeah, then I don't think they can.
Oh, great.
We'll finish the thought and then we can come back for the old come on, man.
Okay. All right. I like that. But to finish up on that thought, the blank space here is just going to tell you that someone like Riley Gaines is making waves and doing a good thing. So I don't want to take away from that per se, because it's good that she's talking out and she's speaking up and she's doing that. But it's a lot easier to do it now that she's graduated from Kentucky and she's not still competing. We need people to say it while they're competing, while they're in the limelight of it. That would have been so much more powerful if Riley Gaines was able to rally some of the other people that were swimming in that pool with Leah Thomas and just stood there and did not dive into the pool when the whistle blew or whatever it is. That's
Crazy that we're still talking about this. We talked about that a year ago or something.
exactly. And that's what I mean though. Like if somebody showed up
Get
to
your
play,
ass up out the pool, remember?
yes, yes,
What's his name? Little Boozy. Get your
little
ass up out
boozy.
the pool, man.
But dude,
Let them have their glory.
if somebody showed up to the court to play South Carolina and there was a hulking dude out there, she should hold her whole team back in the locker room and be like, you know what? We're good. We'll forfeit. We'll take the loss. I'm not going out there. And once that happens once or twice, that's it. That's all it's going to take. Crazy. All right, stay there and talk for a sec, Juice. I'm jumping out. Finish your thought.
I don't have a thought. You want to stop this for a second and then we'll come back in? You still bet. We'll come back in.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, that a boy.
He's back. A little brighter than normal. But oh, what an episode this is going to. What an episode we're going to be working with here. The trolls will be out.
Dude, I'm just staring there looking at the camera. I was about to end it.
No, that was great, man. You did good. Juice holding us down. Just keep
Yeah, all right, dude. Okay.
So, yeah, what were we saying about that? Get your ass out the pool.
Yeah, dude, Little Boozy. Let them have their glory, man.
Yeah.
You were saying something about like a hulking dude game like Cox or something.
Yeah. No, but it's just like they need to refuse to play when someone like that shows up, essentially. And you need when you're an influential coach who's going for a perfect season, who has a platform like she has right there, she needs to just be like, you know what? I coach a great group of hardworking female athletes, and that's what my sport is designed to compete against. Like, I'm not putting them out there against men. I'm going to put them out there against other females, and we'll let the best woman win, not the biggest dude come and win instead. So she needs to grow up. She needs to man up, and do the right thing there. She really does. It's sad and it's pathetic to see her react that way. And what did you think? Sorry, if you have something else, say that. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on the body language as well, like her leading up to the question.
My thing is, like I said it before it even like started. Like, how do you not have a pre answer like written on a piece of paper?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on transgender athletes? Oh, you're gonna give me that one? Okay. Bing, bang, boom. This is it.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for a game tomorrow. Like you said, the Belichick thing, or like, even that's unfortunate that these people are going through this, but like this is women's sports. You have to be
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we did a thing like a couple weeks ago where like, there's a rebound down in the paint. Boom, girl.
Yeah.
Gets hit by a guy or whatever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I just feel like she already has an answer for this, but she gave a different answer than what she really feels. And it was obvious with body language and the pauses, the everything.
Yeah.
Of that
clip. Completely. All right. Let's keep this thing moving along. Before we tie things up and bring in our Come On Man segment, I do want to remind you guys to please like and subscribe to the show on YouTube. We're getting a little bit more buzz. It's around here somewhere, but starting to figure this internet stuff out just a little bit. So,
algorithms.
Yeah, I've been able to figure out how to do some short little clips from our shows and post those out there. Been putting out just the Come On Man sections. So,
people have not been liking it. We've been getting clicks, but right.
Yeah, we're getting some Angel Reese like love out there. So people like this guy, John Beer, he told us in the comments on one of our short clips about AOC. I think it was a Come On Man that we talked about AOC in. So John said this to us. Where is it? You look like guys with a beard, but you two behave like sissies with a puss. And said the whole word. What makes you want to show the world that each of you has an IQ lower than 60? I estimate, going back to your statement, that AOC has a higher IQ than your IQs added together, plus an additional 30. So thanks, John Beer. Just, throw on the bell icon so you'll be notified when we post new stuff, and drop us another comment if you want. Don't forget to subscribe to the show too. That really helps get those numbers up a little bit. Help the algorithm, right, Juice?
Yeah, man, let's get it. John Beer Show and whatever.
Yes, sir. So, comment yourself. We talk about dropping things in the comments all the time. Throw us a comment. We'd love to read it on air for you. If you want to talk to us, you want to jump in on a topic from the show, or you just want to hate, send it our way. We'd love to read it. All right. So with that being said, let's shift over into our Come On Man segment of the day. So those of you who have been with us from the beginning, you do know that this is the segment where we find a clip of somebody doing something, saying something, acting in a particular way that, even though we're going to razz them a little bit here, make fun of them, there's not much else we can say to them except, come on, man. There it is. I love it. So who do we have today? Let's go to our favorite vice president, star of the hit HBO show Veep, Carmela Lella Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Know that?
Oh, I do remember that. That's a callback. Tell us in the comments if you remember when we first did that way back when on the Apple only days. Let us know if you've been around since then, because that was a fun one. And I can't not think of that anytime I say this lady's name. So thanks for pulling that one back out, Juice. It's a good one. So what did Carmela do to deserve this? Well, sticking on topic, we've been all over this women's March Madness tournament, the NCAA college basketball brackets. You guys know this stuff. Every office has a bracket pool. You guys probably entered one. My father-in-law was able to win some money on his. So shout out to Chick. Good job out there. Coming in third place out of like 400. So good stuff. Well, Kamala Harris, she wants equal representation. Going back to these women's voting issue thing that we talked about at the jump. She wants it to be equal here for the women in college basketball. They deserve, to have a bracket just like the men. So let's see what she had to say. Juice, you want to bring her in?
Do you know, a bit of a history lesson. Do you know that the women's teams were not allowed to have brackets until 2022? Think about that, and talk about progress, better late than never, but progress, and what that has done, because of course when, I had a bracket, it's not broken completely, but I won't talk about my bracket. But you know what, just how we love March Madness, and even just now allowing the women to have brackets, and what that does to encourage people to talk more about the women's teams, to watch them. Now they're being covered. And this is the reality. People used to say, women's sports, who's interested? Well, if you can't see it, you won't be. But when you see it, you realize,
anytime she speaks, we could use her on this segment, I think.
It's the same. You go.
No. I was just going to say, it's crazy.
No.
What do you got?
Nothing. Please go. 1 second. I need a second.
She says, Talk about progress. Like, did you know that they didn't even allow them to do a
Allow
bracket?
them to have it.
Talk about progress. And I just told you that ESPN has
I was
had
that little girl on the school bus or something,
the
like,
little
right?
girl who wanted to fill out a bracket.
Yeah, and
I
they didn't
wanted to
even
fill out that bracket.
like, it was like they didn't have they wouldn't even
They
show
didn't
it.
even have it. And you couldn't even watch it. Now, once you see it, once you're able to see it, you're going to
There she
be
goes.
wowed.
There she goes. My bracket's not broken or whatever. Instead of like, I think busted is
Busted.
normally. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not broken. I mean, but let's not get into mine.
Yeah. She's so relatable, Juice. Like, super relatable. Just like you or me. Just in a
But
regular.
like, what is she saying about 2020 or something? Like I think it maybe expanded or something, but it was like,
Yeah.
it was always a tournament.
What I think she got herself tripped up on is in 2022 they expanded to have 64 teams or 68 teams. I think they do a play-in as well. I'll put that in the comments because I'm not positive, but whether it's 64 or they have the 68, just like the men, they just expanded their field to have the exact same number, and they were extended the branding of being able to like use the term March Madness, like right, same as like the men. Oh, March Madness. So that's what happened in 2022. That's not what Carmella just said.
Isn't that still a bracket though? Even
Of
if you have
course,
like
they've had a bracket since
even if you-
1982. Juice,
yeah,
1982.
like you could put anything in a bracket if you have,
Of course,
I don't know, 8 teams. Like,
yeah.
do them out, whatever.
We used to have bags tournaments in the backyard bashes at the Needham household, right? And they'd be brackets for days for that stuff.
You make your own bracket, like you fill
Absolutely.
It up.
So the females, like I said, they've been trying to get eyeballs on female sports since I was a kid. So don't tell me that, oh, now you can finally see it. You're going to be into it. And when I watched Sports Center as a kid, they would pull up the bracket. This team over here, UConn's over here, Tennessee's over here. And you'd see the bracket going until they met in the championship or something or whatever it was. But there most definitely was a bracket involved. Just nobody cared. Like a small amount of people care in the grand scheme of things. And that is just the unfortunate reality of the situation. It's not because they weren't allowed to have a bracket, Carmella.
You looking, yeah, I'm saying, and that's okay. That, do you know what I mean? Like how Rapinoe, like instead of winning World Cups or whatever, her thing was like trying to get equal pay. Like, I agree with equal pay for doing similar jobs. Obviously, like in a sector that's not sports, but if it's like you can see, okay, people watch the men's soccer and don't watch, then that shouldn't be equal pay. Like if there's their money coming in, and that's what she said. Oh, we have to. That was my biggest thing.
Yeah, it's about the type of money that you're able to generate, right? It's a business. Like in the point, even about the equal pay wage gappy type of stuff. Like, believe me, if ownership from the Red Sox, from the Celtics, whatever, take your league, if they could make the same amount of money off of athletes that they don't have to pay the way they have to pay LeBron James or Jason Tatum, why wouldn't they use those athletes? If those people could sell out arenas and they could charge the same ticket prices they charge, of course they would. They'd be stupid not to. But the fact of the matter is, it's a less interesting product. Now, there's always room for change, sure. Look at the numbers we went over from this tournament here.
Yeah, storylines, WWE storylines.
Exactly.
I would check out, the New York Pride versus the something if it was Caitlin Clark's versus that lady.
Sure. Yeah.
Reese.
Yeah. And they have to lean into that. And it has to be.
I would check that over an NBA game. I check out
I don't watch the
zero
NBA.
NBA game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I would watch the WNBA If those two clash.
Absolutely. And you know what? You know what else the female college here has going for it that is completely lacking in the men's game? These ladies stay in school. The WNBA isn't what the NBA is, so Caitlin Clark didn't play 1 year and leave for the WNBA. She stayed in college. Same with Reese there, and that enabled them to have a rivalry that the networks could then play up a little bit. Guys back in the day used to stay in college. That's why it was a better product. I think you'd have the Fab Five from Michigan with Chris Webber and Juwan Howard and Jalen Rose and those guys. They didn't just play 1 year and go right to the NBA. They played a couple of seasons, came back, and you knew them. All those guys used to do that in the 90s, and it was awesome. And before that, I just say the 90s for me because that was the bread and butter when I was growing up watching this stuff. But that was a compelling story that you could bring into the tournament. And, those people who only tune in for March Madness could go and see a player like Paul Pierce and Ray LaFrance choke year in and year out for the University of Kansas and be hyped up, be the number one team, be the number one seed, and then inevitably just choke in the second round or in the Sweet 16. But they were the people you knew the players at least, and that helps. And that definitely helped in the female game here. So it's not because women weren't allowed to have brackets. So it's just an absurd comment from an absurd vice president. So Carmela Della Ding Dong Harris, you have earned yourself one big, fat, classic.
Come on, man.
And that's our show for today. Juice, you got any words of wisdom before we sign off?
Love it. Happy to be back. Good stuff. A couple
Awesome.
glitches, but we'll work it out. Yeah.
Yep. We'll get through the glitches. Not the cleanest step, but we'll chop it up. We know how to do that now. So throw us a comment, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe. And until next week, thanks for having us. The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.